Yeah, they were taking guns before Hitler during the Weimar Republic. Chairman Mao, who killed way more people than Hitler did indirectly, said a famous...
Directly?
I meant through famine and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he still killed them.
60 million.
Right.
60 million.
Mao killed 50, right? So he said political power comes out of the barrel of a gun, right? I mean, go through life, Pol Pot, Pinochet, Fidel Castro, right? Chavez. Every single despot knows that the first thing you have to do is disarm the populace. So James Madison wrote the Second Amendment, and they understood the reasoning for it, like he said, has nothing to do with recreation or anything like that. This is going to sound crass. It's to give you the ability to shoot your government. That sounds crazy, but that's why it's there. And anyone that tells you that that's extreme, they're downplaying it. That's the reason for it. Did you hear what happened in Canada, like today? They are boasting with like smiles on their faces on camera that they've gotten all the money, all of the give, send, go information. Like, there's no wide gun rights, and there's a hunting culture in Canada, but you can't carry and have those kind of privileges that we have in many states here. But in terms of the Second Amendment, I probably am the most extreme. Like, how old are you, do you mind me asking?
18.
Okay, so you're young, man. So I grew up in one of the pivotal moments I remember when I was a little bit younger than you, actually substantially younger than you, like 5-6 years, was Columbine, right? When Klebold and those kids. And it's funny because culturally, politics used to be flip-flopped. Like, culturally, in the 90s, the evangelical right was very puritanical and like didn't like civil liberties and tried to downplay cultural things like violence in video games, you know, gun ownership. You had a lot of Christian groups actually advocating for curtailing civil liberties. And the left used to be like the ones that would stand up for things and fight the power, right? We're talking about Vietnam, right? Because of conscription, all of that type of stuff. Now it's this complete reversal, right? Now it's the evangelical left, and I say that in not a religious terms because their deity is the government. That's what they worship. They are the ones now puritanically censoring, disarming, doing all that kind of stuff. And the right has sort of become this the liberty movement, you know, of sorts, more personified. I'll tell you this, you're a young kid. My political journey from when I was your age to where I am now is wildly different. Like what I thought when I was 18, 25, and now 35, it's a long story. I'll be happy to share it privately with you if you ever want to chat. I'll tell you a book to pick up. That's my political Bible. It's what defines almost everything I believe in. It's Anatomy of the State by Murray Rothbard. Tell me what your favorite part of anatomy is.
There's a line where he talks about, like, we are not the state because Jews didn't kill.
Can this kid run for Congress? I'll drop out if you want to. You're my hero, man. No, I'm serious. Do you understand that you ask most people in Congress who Murray Rothbard is, they'll go, you're smarter than all of Congress. Like, they have no idea who that is. An Austrian economist, historian, Ludwig von Mises was his inspiration, right? That book is a phenomenal, like, compass for your soul politically. And it's so important, and it puts it in such simple terms. And it's like a bathroom read. It's like a 25-minute read, right? It's quick. And that's a great term. Because if you ask people, what is government? And say it in less than 3 words. Can you? Like, what would you describe government as? In less than 3 words.
Authority? No, they're not. I mean, no.
Monopoly of force.
It's legal violence. Like, that's what the government is. It's the only institution that is allowed to use violence legally against you. And Rothbard, you know, touches on that idea, but you're right. In the first or second chapter, he brings up the Holocaust. And he goes, people say, oh, the government is us. We the people, right? The government is not we the people. Don't repeat that trope. It's a dangerous trope to repeat. It's not the people. The government is a separate entity. To say that the government is the people, and he makes the point, is to say that the Jews committed suicide in Germany. They didn't commit suicide. They were murdered by despots, okay? So it's very important that we segregate like that philosophy. God bless you for reading that book, man. I didn't know what that was when I was 18. Do you know when I read that book? 2 years ago, a year ago. Like, and now that's like my Bible from a political perspective. So gun rights, you want me to say where I stand? You should be able to own a machine gun, full automatic, without a background check with a tank in your driveway. How extreme is that? I challenge you to find someone in Congress who will say that. I'll say it.
You're in the right town.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Oh, and by the way, one last thing. Remember the defendants in my case, okay? My police chief, who I'm friends with. the County Superior Court, the New Jersey State Police, and the Attorney General, okay? Do you know how many enemies I've made putting my last name and my family on the line? Do you know how many people have threatened me and also told me that my name is persona non grata in Monmouth County where I live? Like, that's no joke. Like, if you want to talk about being principled, like, go up against the police in New Jersey and the state police and then tell me you stand up for Second Amendment rights. Like, trust me, it's a slippery slope, but we're going to, there's the best part, the happy ending, we're going to win this year. You're going to be able to lawfully carry a handgun in New Jersey by next year. And it's because of the efforts by these groups and, you know, people that put themselves on the line for these cases.
All right, I will point out, I will make a little bit, since it's all been kumbaya, and I love this guy.
Yeah, let's take a dump on each other, man.
No, I'm not gonna take a dump, but